welcome back to my channel. My name is Adiola. It's been a long time coming. I've missed you guys so much. I've been away for a long period of time and I'm good to be back. I hope you're all doing fine. So quickly, in today's video we're going to learn how to draft our dress pattern. So it's more like a continuation of half scale and our blouse length, but the only difference here is the dress length. It's still the same measurement for the dress length. So my dress length is 44 inches. So my actual dress length is 42 inches. So I added 2 inches for hemming allowance. So I have my table with me. I have my front pattern here. I don't want to make my back pattern because I don't want to confuse you. I want to take it one step at a time. So I have all my measurements here. So you work with your own measurements. So for this video, you're going to be needing your measurements, your tape rule, your ruler, and your pattern master with your fresh paper. So I have my measurements here. I have my chest line. To determine your chest line, you divide your bust circumference by 6, then you add 1.5. So I have mine here. So mine is 7.5. I have that. Then for my bust length is 10.5. So I'm working with my vertical measurement first. So this is my vertical measurement. So for my waist is 16 inches. I have that. Then my hip is 24 inches. So I have that. And then my dress length is 42 inches plus 2 inches for hemming. It's pretty long. That is why I can't show you that part, but we'll soon get to that part. Then you see what I mean. So this is my front pattern. So quickly, the first thing we're going to be doing is taking our shoulder measurements. So after taking your vertical measurement, the next thing is our shoulder measurement. So this is my starting point. I added extra paper for allowance for my shoulder. So the first thing we are taking is my shoulder. So my shoulder, you divide your shoulder by 2. My shoulder is 13. So after dividing that by 2, I have 6.5. So I have that here. Then I'm going to repeat the same thing on my chest line. I repeat my 6.5 on my chest line. I'm going to be drawing a straight line to connect the 2 lines together. Okay, so I have that. So the next thing I'm going to be taking is my shoulder slant of 1 inch. So you can decide to make your shoulder slant 1 inch for the front pattern. So this is that. So I'm left with 6.5 inches after taking my shoulder slant. So I have 6.5 inches left. So I'll divide that by 2. After dividing that by 2, I have 3.25. Okay, I have 3.25. So this is my 3.25. Now I'm going to be going in by ½ inch. So I'm going to leave that for now. So the next thing I'm going to be taking is my neck region. So I'm still going to be working with the standard of 3 by 3 inches. So you take that here. Sorry about my paper, it's a bit weak. So then for the depth, I'm going to be taking 3 inches. So it's mostly like just the normal half scale, okay? So I'm going to be connecting the 2 lines together like so. So I have my neck region. Then again, I'm not going to be doing the usual neck region. So I'm going to be coming down further. I'm going to be slitting this part. So I'm going to take my measurement all the way from my starting point. Then I'll mark 7 inches here. I just want an opening there. So I have that with me. So we'll leave that for now. Now we're going to move to our bust span. Our bust span measurement is from one nipple stand to the other. So I have 8 inches. So I'm going to be taking that on my bust line. My 8 inches, you divide that by 2. I'll divide that by 2, so I have 4 inches. So I'm going to be taking that. So I'm going to be taking that up to my hip region. And I'll do the same thing on my hip region. And I'll connect these 2 together. Then on my bust line, I'm going to be coming down by 1 inch because we are going to be taking our dart intake. Okay, so this is my 1 inch. To take our dart, you can decide to, for a medium size, you can take 1 inch. So for on both sides now, on my waist, if I'm taking 1 inch, so that would be for a small size rather, you can take ½ inch on this side, then on this side, ½ inch here, ½ inch here. But for a medium size, you can make it 1½ inches or 2 inches. But for me, because your bust will determine that, I have a medium bust, so I'm going to be sticking to my 1.5 inches. I hope that is clear. But for a busty person, they can decide to take you can decide to make it 2 inches, okay, not 1.5 on both sides. Okay, so for me, I'm going to be taking, then I have to divide my 1.5 into 2, so that will be 3/4 of an inch on both sides. Okay, so I'll take that on both sides. Then from my hip region, just like blouse length, you can decide to come up by, so you are coming up, so you can decide to come up by 1 inch or 1.5. So I'm going to be coming up by 1.5 inches. Okay, so now we're going to be connecting these 4 lines, this with this with this with this. Okay, all right, so we have that already. Okay, so now I'm going to be connecting my shoulder slant of 1 inch to my neck region. Okay, all right, so we have that already. So the next thing we are going to be taking now, we're going to be working with our circumference. So now we are working with the circumference. Okay, we are working with our circumference. So this is my circumference, 35.5 for my bust, waist 30, shoulder hip 40. Okay, so now we're going to be taking our bust circumference. Always take your bust circumference on your chest line, not on your bust. Okay, so for my bust is 35.5. so if I divide that by 4, I have 8.875, I think. So this is my 8.875. Then allowance, okay, for ease, so it can be easy, it can be free. So I'm going to have my allowance of ½ inch. Okay, so we're left with that. So the next measurement I'm going to be working with is my waist circumference. So my waist circumference is 30. So I'll take that on my waist. 30 by 4 will give me 7.5. So this is my 7.5. And I'm going to be adding this dart measurement that I took. I have to replace it back or else there will be shortage. So that is 1.5. I'm going to be adding my 1.5 back. Okay, this is my 1.5. Then I'll add ease of ½ inch, just like I did here. Okay, so the next measurement is my hip. My hip is 40, so I'll divide that by 4. Let me just move this up a bit. I'll divide my hip by 4, so I have 10 inches. Then I'll add my ease of ½ inch. Okay, so I have that. Then this is my full length. My paper wasn't enough, so I needed to add extra paper down. Okay, so you might need to do so too. Okay, you might need to add extra to get your desired length. So this is my 42 inches. I told you I was going to show you this part. So this is my 42 inches. Then I added 2 inches for M. Okay, so we'll leave that for now. So now I'm going to be connecting all this together. So my chest to my waist. Then from my waist, then my waist to my hip, I'm going to be connecting that. So use your curve ruler to do this. So you can bring out a nice shape. So after doing that, now we are moving to the down part. Okay, so now whatever you have on your hip region, you're going to be subtracting or removing 1 inch or 1.5 inch. And why are we doing so? If you have a very hippie person, probably hip 45, it's better you take away 1.5 inches at the down parts, so the curve can come out. Okay, it can come out more, it can be a little bit curvy. But if your hip is like mine, my hip is 40, so I'm just going to be subtracting 1 inch from whatever I have here. So whatever measurements I have here, I'll just subtract 1 inch from my dress length. Okay, I hope that's clear. But for a bust 45, you can subtract 1.5 from whatever you have on your hip. So I'm going to be measuring whatever I have here. So I have 10.5, so I'm going to be subtracting 1 inch. So I'm going to be taking 9.5 at my down parts. I hope that's clear. So after doing that, I'm going to be connecting it to my hip region. Okay, so if you want it more fitted, you can still go in by 1/2 inch. Okay, so it will be more fitted, but I'm okay with this. So we are going to connect our armhole line. Okay, so I'm going to be connecting my armhole line. You connect this with this. Okay, right, so we have that. So the next thing we're going to be doing, so I'm going to be connecting it back all the way here. All right, okay, sorry about that. So we have that. So the next thing I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be adding my allowance of 1/2 inch to my shoulder. You had your allowance, your joining allowance to your shoulder. Then we are good to go. We can cut our front pattern, then we move to the back pattern. Then again, add your allowance. Okay, so I added 1 inch allowance to my pattern, to my front, 1 inch. So I'm going to be connecting that. Then we can move to our back. Okay, so now we are moving to the back. So I've labeled my back pattern. So this is my back pattern. So for the back pattern, we are working with only your chest line, your waistline, your hip, and your dress length, because at the back we don't have the bust. So I'm going to be moving in this direction. So this is my shoulder. So I'm going to be taking my shoulder measurement just like we did for the front, my 6.5. I'll repeat that on my chest line. I have my 6.5. I'm going to be ruling a line, vertical line, just like we did. Then for my neckline, for my back, it's going to be 3 inches. Then the depth is going to be 1 inch. And I'm going to be connecting the two lines together. Then for my back length, I'm going to be coming down by ½ inch. For the front, we came down by 1 inch, but for my back, I'm going to be coming down by ½ inch. So I'm going to be connecting these two lines together. Sorry about this, my sellotape is acting up. So whatever we have left, so I have 7 inches left. 3.5. So we'll leave that for now. So now we'll go back to our bust span measurements of 8 inches. So you divide that into 2. So you take your bust span measurement on your chest line for the back. You know, for the front we took it on the bust, but for the back is on the chest line. So I have my 4 inches. So I'll take that down to my hip region, just like we did for the front. And I'll mark a straight line, connect the two lines together. Okay, we have that. Then for the back, for our dart is going to be quite different from the front. For the front, we took 1.5 inch, then we divided it into 2, which is 3/4. But for the back, we're going to be taking ½ inch on both sides, not 1 inch. Then for my chest line, I'm going to be coming down by 1 inch. Okay, then my hip line, I'm going to be coming up by 1 inch. You come up by 1 inch on your hip line. Then I'll connect these lines together. Alright, so we have that. Sorry about this. Okay. Alright. So now let's start working with our circumference. My waist circumference is 30, so that is 7.5. So I have my 7.5 here. Then my darts, I took ½ inch, so I'm going to replace the back, which is 1 inch. So I have my 1 inch darts. So I'm going to leave this for now. I'll explain why. Then my bust circumference, 35.5. So divided by 4, I have 8.875. So I have that. Then my allowance, I also have that. Okay, so I'm going to leave that for now. Then for my hip is 40. So I divided by 2, I have by 4. I divided by 4, I have 10 inches. Then ½ inch allowance. Alright. So now we'll connect these lines together. So from my chest line to my waist, I'll connect that. Then I'll connect this. Remember what we did for our front? We subtracted 1 from here. Then you repeat it at the base of our dress. Then we'll connect that. Alright, so we have just few adjustments in front. Then for our back, it's quite different from the front. You don't need to come in, so you just connect it from your chest region back here. Alright, so that's for the back. Then our allowance for our shoulder, add your half-inch allowance for shoulder. Correct. Pardon my sellotape. So now I'm going to be making some adjustments on this back pattern on the waist. I'm going to tell you why. So to eliminate any zipper bulge, you're going to be coming in by half-inch here. Okay, so after doing that, just like our dress blouse pattern, so I'm just going to be connecting it to my chest line. Okay, down to my hip region. Okay, so this will be my new line, my new waist. So if I'm cutting, I'll cut through here. I don't know if you can see that. If I'm cutting through here all the way to here to eliminate. But since we took out this half-inch, we have to replace it back to our pattern. So I'm going to be replacing that half-inch back. After that replacement, then we can put in our allowance. Okay, so now I can do my 1 inch allowance. So this is our new. Then remember our zipper, we've not added our zipper. I'm going to do that on my fabric. The pattern is quite long, so the camera cannot pick everything, but I hope you're able to get some. I relocated and a lot of things changed. My long table was stopped using it. So for now, I'm using this for now, so you can't really show everything. So, but this is how it looks like after finishing, okay? So now we're going to start cutting this out. So I'm going to start with the front pattern. Then I omitted a part for my table. I divided my table into two. So you work with the biggest part of your measurements. Mine is my hip. So yours could be your bust. So I divided that into two. Then I did that into two. So I have for the front, from the back. And you can see it's enough. So yours might not be enough. Your hip might even be larger than this. So I advise you add extra paper to achieve that. So now I'll start cutting my pattern. So watch our cuts. Then when I get to my dress length, so I'm going to be folding this part in. Remember, this is my actual dress measurement, and this is my hemming. So I'm going to be folding this in. So this is how I'm going to slash through this. I'm going to be folding this in to cut. So you're not going to be cutting all the way. Okay? So I'm going to be join all this. So this is my front pattern. It's quite long. Okay, so you fold your hemming in to cut the round part. So this is my front pattern. Then my neck region. So this is the front pattern. So this is how it looks like after cutting. You can see that. So I'll put this aside so we can focus on it. So the same thing, you fold your hemming in. So this is my back pattern. I've labeled that. Now I'm going to be cutting through this. Okay, so this will represent my new line. So I'm going to be taking it, then cut this out. So at this junction, it's advisable to work with your pin to achieve great results. So I have my pattern where I pin it down. So watch, I'm going to cut this. Then ensure you notch your bust region, your chest region, your waist, and your hip. Okay, so this is how you notch it. You just cut it. So this is for the front. Then again, make sure your front is on fold before cutting. Make sure you fold it so it won't turn to pieces. So this is it. So now we are moving to the back. Then remember I came down by 4 inches from my front. Back 4 inches. So I'm going to be indicating that here. So I'm going to be slashing this open when I get to my lining. I'm going to line my fabric. I have my back pattern here. Now for my skirt vent, for my dress vent, this is for a dress. My actual measurement is 42 inches. So I added 2 inches for hemming. This is my hemming. So you're going to fold your hemming in. So after folding your hemming in, you take extra paper. So from my actual measurement, I'm going to be going up by 6 inches. But if you're making a short dress, you can make it 5 inches. But mine is a bit long, so I'm making it 6 inches. So I already measured my 6 inches here. I have that here. And I'm going to be going in by 2 inches. So this is my 2 inches. So I'm going to be ruling a straight line to connect that. Okay, so I have it. So from the upper part here, I'm just going to be coming in by ½ inch for no particular reason, just to give it a nice fit. Okay, then from that ½ inch, I'm going to be connecting it all the way up here. Okay, so that is my skirt bend. So now I'm going to be cutting that out. So you can see how it feels like. So now I'm going to go to the fabric, then cut this out. So after tracing out my zipper allowance, so you take your 1 inch zipper allowance. Okay, so I have my 1 inch. I took it round. So I'm going to start cutting. So this is for the back. I'll start cutting this out now. Then this part, I'll just blend this in for the back. Then remember the black, we're going to be slitting it into 2. going to slit this into two. Now remember, our back is not going to be totally straight because we took out ½ inch here, so it will be slanted. So I'm going to be following through to this line. Then when I get to the vent area, I'm going to explain some area to you there. So my vent area, I came up by 3/4 inch. So you come up, then you connect it. Then you can decide to take the same measurement we took, which is 1 inch zipper. But I just decided to make mine 3/4 inch. Then I took it down. So you can make yours 1 inch. So that is how it's going to look like. So I'm going to be slitting the vent area because it's for the zipper. So I'll slit that into two. And remember to notch just like we did for the front parts. I'll notch my hip, so I know this is my hip, my waist, my chest region. Okay. Then now for our darts, I'm going to show you how to locate your darts. So it's important you do that before removing this. So this is a method, might not be the perfect method. So this is one way to get your darts. So you just insert your pin inside. I have another one here. I just fix this here. Then you can use something to indicate that. You can use a biro, a chalk. Then you do this too. You can use, but this works perfectly for me. So you just indicate that. Then for this side too. Okay, so you can see that. So I know this is my dart region. And you can use a barrel to indicate that. Okay, this is my back. I need to indicate which is the back because the fabric is almost the same thing. Okay, so this is my back. Then for the down parts, I'm going to indicate that this is my down part. Okay, so you can use your chalk to trace this out. So this is one way to trace this out. You can see this. This is one easy method. So you can just connect this way. Okay. Then we remove that. So from the upper part too, and connect that. So this makes the work easier. So we'll do the same thing for the front. Okay. So can likewise remove the pin. Yes, I can trace that. So we can see where we are tracing our darts from now. So that is one easy method. Okay. So we can see our dart is out already. All right. So we can do the same thing for the front. So I'm going to be using a lining for this, but my lining will not get to the hemming part. That will be after my hip region. So this is for my front, so I'll do the same thing. Insert that. You can do the same thing for your lining. So the lining can be in place. Okay. So you can do that. So I'll just put that in here. So that's to indicate where that's to. So from here we can figure out our that. So you can see the pins can indicate what you need to do. So you can just pick your chalk, then connect your darts. Okay, and connect it to the starting point. So you don't need to start taking your measurements all over again. So that is one method that I use and it works for me. So you can see that it has indicated for us what we need to do. So now we go to the machine, we start sewing everything. So you do the same thing for your lining if you want to use your lining, or if you don't need to fix your lining, you can go ahead. So we'll get to the machine and start sewing.